And these people are really, really losing their minds. They have lost their minds and they have run out of options. They have hit levels of desperation you want to see no man hit. And that is because Todd Monken is locked in with Shedeur Sanders and 100% down for him to win this quarterback competition with a fair opportunity.
Todd Monken just made the Shedeur Sanders conversation even louder. He did not name him QB1. He did not hand him the job, but he also did not close the door, and that is what has Browns media crashing out. Because every time people try to bury Shedeur, Monken gives another reason to keep watching. The reps are still alive. The competition is still open, and the old Watson first narrative is not as safe as it looked a few weeks ago. The Browns media keeps trying to figure out what Monken really thinks. One side says Deshaun Watson is still the favorite. Another side says Shedeur has closed the gap. Then Monken comes out and refuses to make it easy for anybody. He keeps the competition open. He talks about progress. He wants to see more. And suddenly the whole media room has to keep arguing.
But his ability to process quicker and get the ball out of his hands and eliminate lost yardage plays is going to be huge for us to be able to stack plays and score, which is ultimately the number one thing here.
That is why this is good for Shedeur. He does not need Monken to crown him today. He just needs Monken to stay honest. If the job was already Watson's, Monken could have ended this. He could have said Watson is the guy. He could have told everyone the depth chart is basically set, but that did not happen. And when a coach keeps waiting, it usually means he still wants more evidence. That is where Browns media starts getting uncomfortable. The old story was simple. Watson has the contract. Watson has the experience. Watson has played real NFL football. Shedeur is the younger guy. He is chasing. He needs time. But now that story has a problem. Shedeur is improving. And once a young quarterback starts improving in the exact areas coaches care about, the old story gets weaker.
His progressions, getting the ball out, his understanding of concepts. I think he's really come a long way.
The defense was able to have a couple heads up.
Coaches do not say that by accident. That means Shedeur is not the same player he was at the start of the process. That means Monken has seen growth. It could be footwork, it could be reads, it could be timing, it could be command. But whatever it is, it's enough to keep him in the conversation. And that's the whole point. Shedeur is not winning because of hype. He is winning because the door is still open. That alone is a problem for every media voice that already decided he couldn't catch Watson. If Shedeur was really just a sideshow, this battle would be over. If he was really not close, Monken would not drag this into training camp.
I think Shedeur has come on so strong in the last few weeks that it's making them think, maybe we should see what he can do in training camp before we decide that perhaps Deshaun Watson might be QB1 on the depth chart.
Mary Kay's report is important because it shows the shift. Watson may still have the early edge. That's fair. But Shedeur is not fading. He is making the Browns wait. He is making reporters adjust. He is forcing the quarterback battle to stay alive, and that is why the media keeps crashing out. They want a clean answer. Monken is not giving them one. The funny part is that some media members are acting like Shedeur's supporters are creating the chaos, but the team is creating it too. If the Browns wanted silence, they would make a decision. If Monken wanted Watson locked in, he could say it. If Shedeur was not showing enough, the reps would tell us. Instead, we keep seeing uncertainty, and uncertainty always helps the player with momentum.
Yeah, I definitely buy it. I mean, I think that everybody said that went to practice said that they seen Shedeur gaining the momentum. And, it went from crowning Deshaun to, well, I can see Shedeur being the starting quarterback.
That is the real story. The narrative is shifting. Not because Shedeur has become perfect. He still has flaws. He still has to prove it when the pads come on. He still has to handle pressure. He still has to show he can stack real drives. But the conversation has moved from can Shedeur even compete to can Watson stop him? That's a big difference. And that's where Monken's system matters. This offense needs the quarterback to be sharp. Get the ball out, protect the ball, use the run game, hit easy throws, create rhythm. It does not need a quarterback living off old highlights. It needs a quarterback who can run today's offense. If Shedeur keeps improving inside that structure, Monken has to stay locked in.
I know this has been characterized for all intents and purposes as sort of a two-man race between Shedeur and Deshaun, but I'm just wondering, what have you seen from Dylan that you've liked so far, and how much in the mix is he also?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a two-man race. I would just say that at every position, there's competition. Irrespective of the reps that they get, which I've said before, I mean, everybody ought to be competing.
Monken is not treating this like fan fiction. Shedeur is in the building, he is taking questions, he is learning the offense, he is competing, and Monken is watching all of it. That is what matters. Not the noise, not the draft slot, not the radio arguments. The reps. This is also why the trade rumors made Browns media even crazier. Some people started saying teams were calling about Shedeur. Others said the Browns should listen. But why would Cleveland move him now if the coach is still evaluating him? If Watson is not officially QB1, if Shedeur has improved, then trading him for a weak return makes no sense. The Browns need answers, not another mystery.
You've heard Andrew Berry and Todd Monken talk about the differences night and day as far as the work he's put in the offseason and being in the middle of a quarterback competition. Why in the world would you trade Shedeur Sanders, leaving Deshaun Watson as your starter, for a team that says they're trying to win this year?
That is why Monken being locked in matters. It protects Shedeur from the noise. Not because Monken is doing him a favor, because Monken needs to know the truth. Can Shedeur run the offense? Can he handle real pressure? Can he challenge Watson? Can he become more than a backup? You do not answer those questions by trading him in July. You answer them by putting him on the field. And the more Shedeur keeps working, the harder it gets for media people to dismiss him. He's been training. He's been taking reps. He's been getting better with reads. He's been showing enough that reporters keep saying the same thing in different ways. The Browns are still watching. That is all Shedeur needs right now.
Yeah, Coach Monken great. Coach Monken great, and all the other coaches on the staff is extremely great. You're going to understand and embrace you just as a person, then they push you each and every day, in the meeting room and on the field, in the weight room. Like, it's a new vibe, it's a new energy. The only thing we missing is y'all.
Shedeur seems to understand what Monken is building. This is not a soft environment. Monken has been loud about mistakes. He's been hard on details. He wants players locked in. That is good for Shedeur, because if he wins in that environment, nobody can say it was handed to him. And that is why Browns media is spiraling. Monken has not given them the ending they wanted. He has not buried Shedeur. He has not protected Watson. He has not treated the contract like the answer. He's letting the battle breathe. And every day that happens, Shedeur gains another chance. This is not about crowning him too early. This is about the door staying open. And in a quarterback battle, an open door is dangerous. Because one good practice becomes two. Two good practices become momentum. Momentum becomes belief. And belief changes a locker room. So Browns media can keep arguing. They can keep asking if Watson is still ahead. They can keep floating trade rumors. They can keep acting shocked that Shedeur is still in this. But Todd Monken is watching the same thing everyone else is starting to see. Shedeur Sanders is not going away. And if he keeps climbing, the Browns media crash out is only getting started.